Welcome back again, everybody. Come back to you for part two of our discussion on going on vacation and hitting all the historical sites. When we brought our kids to the UK when they were small, I think 7 and 8, 6 or 7, something like that, we hit a lot of historical sites there, like the Roman baths in Bath. And I remember them walking around with their little headphones, their little telephone listeners on, like, in English, and they were walking around and listening to, they walk from point to point, and it would talk about different historical things that was going on within the Roman baths in Bath and Roman history. Very interesting. I enjoyed it, and they loved it. And we went also to Cheddar. And Cheddar was crazy. It was a cave you got to go into, and inside they found Cheddar Man. It was a valley, but you went pretty deep in this cave, and they turned the lights out on you also while you're in there. But the kids loved it. They had such a great time. Stonehenge, they had a great time. You know, all across the UK, they had a great time. We camped and we stayed in hotels, and we visited all kinds of stuff. Went to a really nice, a nice museum. It was an interesting museum in Wales, where basically they bashed the UK police the whole time we were there. So that was what it was about, you know. But and then we went to a lot of castles and stuff, and they had a blast. They had a big blast, you know. My son and I told you about, we went to Belgium a couple of years ago and camped out in Bastogne, and then we visited a lot of museums around Bastogne and in Belgium, and there were some fantastic museums there. You felt welcome as an American, and that's a thing you don't always feel in Europe, is welcome as an American. And there I felt very welcome. You know, we visited loads of museums. Every day we'd hit 1 or 2 museums, sometimes 3, and walked the battlefield around Bastogne through the city and that kind of stuff, and we're out to Foy and the Jean-Jacques, the Bois-Jacques, excuse me, and we had a blast there. Nicholas and I did. You know, this whole video is about, when you go on vacation, don't just sit around. You know, do something. You know, and see something, learn something from where you're at. You know, same when we went to Czech and to Berlin. But Nico and I, and Nuremberg, but Nico and I, we go on these little road trips together. Not so many with my daughter, sadly. I mean, she's not really into all that, I guess, you know, but it's something I'd like to do with both of them, you know, before they graduate university and move on with their working lives, you know. But, COVID's really thrown a big wrench in all this, and that's a problem, you know, across the board. So, you know, get the kids out. Kids will love these vacations. See something besides just to see. You know, I enjoy seeing the sea. We went to Croatia our last year before we went to the States on vacation, but we went to Croatia the summer before, and we had a blast. It was a wonderful vacation. We did see some historical sites, but, you know, we were on the island of Hvar, and although we toured around Hvar and saw some things, wasn't as much history to see as it was just the ocean and the beauty of the ocean. So we had a great time there. So I'm not against that whatsoever. But, you know, try to get out there and visit historical sites. You know, this also, you know, it helps in tourism also for these areas also a lot. You know, I live in a really old city called Romo village. Actually, it's a walled city. It's on a hilltop. That's what it's called. It's called Round Mountain, Romo for short. And here we have some of the oldest glass making and oldest stained glass making in Europe, actually, here. And it's a beautiful church here with some of the original stained glass windows in it, you know. And there's a really nice museum here talking about, and it has some great examples. But around the village also, it's beautiful. You can walk around the ramparts here. And I live just up inside the village, down next to the cemetery, across from the cemetery, in fact. But we have some wonderful towers here and this kind of stuff. Now, hopefully everything works out. I'll be moving in the next month and to another area, more of a farmer's village. But this is just only 10 minutes down the road, and I'll definitely be coming back to visit, you know. But yeah, try to get out there. You know, get to those different places, visit those different places, and really get your family and your kids involved, because the kids are ones who are going to, you know, you're going to profit from it immensely just from looking at them, you know, watching them and learning with them. But they're going to have a lifetime memory, you know, of the history involved. And so try to get out there and see as much as you can and do as much as you can historically. We need to learn from our history, you know. We need to learn a lot. I'll tell you a quick story. When my wife and I, when we first married, we you know, we did our honeymoon on a place called Lake Vanier up near Lake George, and we visited some of the and the following summer we visited Vermont and saw some of the some historical sites from the war, the French and Indian War, and we really enjoyed that. But we traveled to Antietam and had such a strange encounter there. We were walking towards the bridge, and this bridge, I think there were 32,000 lives lost on both sides fighting for that bridge. And it's not very deep water or anything, but fighting for that. And at the base of the bridge, on the southern side, I believe, of it was a hilly area, and that's where the southern troops had their defensive positions. And on the far side, which is where the northern troops moved forward, trying to take that high ground. Well, as we was walking towards the bridge, I saw a tall man, very tall man with a tall hat, all in black, with his head down, bowing towards the bridge. And then as we got closer, he wasn't there anymore. I looked around for him. I couldn't see him or anything. I mean, it just sort of shocked me, you know. And then later on, when I was reading about the battle, I saw that this battle had, and you're going to think I'm crazy, but this battle laid really heavy on the heart of Abraham Lincoln. And did I see the ghost of Abraham Lincoln? I don't know. It's probably just somebody just standing there with a head bowed, you know. But from a distance, I saw what I saw, you know. But yeah, I remember that. That's sort of strange, but I remember that so well, you know. But anyway, there are lots of more historical sites out there that I've seen and been around, and yeah, I just want to ask you to get out there and get to them. Look around your area. You'd be surprised what you have in your area. I mean, you know, I grew up in the central part of Louisiana, called Sinla, Central Louisiana, near north of Alexandria, Rapides Parish. I grew up in Grant Parish, but there are lots of sites in that area. Like they have Pleasant Hill. You have the Indian burial mounds up in Pleasant Hill, and you have I think it's what it's called. And then I have a great grandfather who was a colonel in the cavalry, the Confederate Army, and he fought in Louisiana also that I know of. And look into your family history. The Box family arrived in the New World in the 1700s, I believe it was, and John Box, he moved his family across. Basically, his family traveled across the southern part of the United States, and I'm on Facebook with at least 5 or 6 Michael Boxes, and 3 or 4 of us, we all are live in the South, so we're all related. So it's quite strange but funny. But it's you know, look at your family history, you know, and see what has come from that, where you're from, this kind of stuff, and you know, like a lot of Americans, a lot of us are from Europe, you know, but also there's a lot of us from southern, you know, who are Indian or African, you know, and you all have a great history. It's just a matter of appreciating it, learning from it, and trying not to repeat the bad parts of it, okay? But anyway, I want to thank you for coming back for this little part 2. It's not very long, you know, it's about 9 minutes, working on 10. But again, if you have any questions, please comment. I look forward to reading them, and I appreciate if you give a thumbs up and a like, and I look forward to hearing from you and telling you some more stories about some more trips that I've been on and historical vacations. But anyway, I hope all you folks take care of yourselves, and you have yourselves a good day and a good weekend. Bye.